Alright guys, I'm back. Appreciate the views. I don't know, I've noticed that I'm getting a steady to me any views is cool, but I've noticed I'm getting steady views with I don't even care. I don't even look at the click-through rate. I don't look at the full play. I don't care. I just think, views cool. But anyway, I'm going to talk about ego today because I just dude, our culture just is killing ego. And listen, no one knows what ego is. I'm going to say that right now. Listen, my last video, I'm going to do an explanation on the video and make it make way more sense to everybody. And I think people will really understand what I'm talking about. But I'm going to do this video first, get this ego out of the way. Maybe we can put an end to it because every person in American society has killed ego. And even kind of I don't even think the Eastern Asian culture really kills ego because they know that you need an ego to even ascend. And that's why I say it's arrogant for you to think you even have an ego because you don't. Not everybody does. We misconstrue, oh, someone's boasting and bragging about themselves. They could be insecure. Someone refuses to, let something go or do something. That's called pride. We mess up what ego is. We assign ego with all different types of flaws instead of, no, that's the flaw. There's no ego involved. An ego has no control. I've said this before. An ego has no control over you. It has none. It doesn't make a single decision. Everyone on here is giving it so much power. Look, Ash is looking at me bro, they don't even know what ego. Look at him. He's I'm going to bed because they don't know what an ego is yet. And I'm a dog and I know what it is. A dog, you know who has egos? Animals. You know why? Because they know they're going to a higher being. They know what the higher source is. They know all the secrets to nature and society. That's ego. And I'll explain. So, but you need to stop comparing. Oh, he's this because no, that's pride. It's insecurity. There's a bunch of other words I'm just forgetting at the time. But ego is something I don't think you can get in this life if it's your first time here. I think it's only going off of my last video. I think it's only can be given to you if you are aware of something. Now I'll explain it. So when you die, and I told you, you go up. Let's say you get to heaven, and you've been vibing with God for a minute. Y'all kind of cool, low key. Y'all homies, almost like you came from him. And you're yeah, I kind of want to go back down. And he's all right, you want to that's the one point I will say about, and I will explain in the last video, is that why would we come back down knowing everything once you've ascended? Because you want to think you can do it better. And that's where the ego comes in. That's the ego. You've been granted all this knowledge. Now that you know what is and what isn't, and now you're back here, So your ego is what's allowing you to get to where you already knew, but in the physical sense. I don't even know if that's going to make any sense to anybody because I don't know if people are thinking and I don't know if people understand. I don't know if I can even explain that. Because, I keep trying to say, no one knows anything. And you can't explain, you can't explain the physical reality. You just can't. The physical reality, no matter how anybody, a mathematician, a scientist, philosophers, they try to explain this physical reality, you cannot. You just cannot. Because you know why? Language. There's no words for these things. You've had dreams that you cannot explain to somebody. There's no word for it. You've had emotions or you've had feelings and you've had sequences in your life where you literally do not know how to explain it. And that's the physical. But I bet you if we were in the fourth and fifth dimension, you could explain it. There's no language. All right. So, okay, take that right there. That unknowing, that unexplainable, right? Now you have it. That's the ego. The ego is saying, hey, You know what the unexplainable, the unattainable is. And when you get on the path, I'm going to help you get there. It's up to you if you want to do it, but I will put the drive in you. You want to get all the knowledge in the world? Here, I will help you. I'll give you the drive. Ego is not controlling. Ego, you combine an ego with something you're passionate about and you will be dominant. That's why I hate when I see people say, you do not have an ego. You don't. A lot of people think they do, and I hate to break it to you. You're not that special. Neither am I. You got to be a really special individual to have an ego. And you know how you know somebody who has an ego? You want to follow them. You admire them. You love that person off of first contact. You don't know what it is about that person, but you instantly enjoy them. You love them. You may hate them, but there's something about them that draws you towards them. You know why? It's because they have the unattainable and unknowing that they're getting to, but you know they have it because you subconsciously, you get what I'm saying? You see it in that person. They know they have it, and you're like, I don't have that. That's what makes these people who want to be leaders of people have egos, because it's not because they want to become it's not because of the position. It's because they are able to lead. You need to have an ego to even be able to lead, to even have people want to follow you. Look at, let's just say Kobe Bryant. He combined his ego with his passion for basketball and was able to become a great basketball player. You can't do that. There's a lot of basketball players. Not a lot of great ones. There's a lot of regular human beings. Not a lot of great ones. You see what I'm saying? There are a lot of great people have egos. That's why I said, you're not that special. I hate to break it. I hate to be like that guy, but it's true. I wish I had an ego like that. I think I do, but in the sense for knowledge. I want to know everything I can about everything. But I know at the end of the day, I can't explain it, and I won't be able to explain it, but I have a sense of it. I already do have a sense of it. The last video pretty much puts it in terms, and I'll explain that last video in detail in the each dimension, explaining how and why it affects and how I can make it make sense. I can make it make sense. I can. I wanted to get that rough idea out for you guys. But yeah, ego. I'm not saying all you guys don't have it. I'm not saying I'm special. I'm just poking fun. Because you could have one. But the thing about an ego is it doesn't control you. It doesn't tell you where you want to go. So once you figure out the path and you found the right path, the ego will kick in and say, okay, we're doing this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And it will remind you, and it will keep reminding you that you need to do this. And if you don't have that in your life, you do not have an ego. All right? It's simple as that. Ego will help you ascend. It's an ascendant being. I think you become it. All right. I hope I made sense. I think. I don't know. I appreciate you guys.